It's funny. I've been doing sort of a New Year's resolution trying to change up every outfit that I wear. If you don't pay attention, I like to wear this shirt on Fridays, which, by the way, happy Friday, everyone. But considering what happened last night, it's actually quite fitting I wear this shirt today. So, foremost, VIVE la Notre Dame. Yes, shout out to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish for making the national championship. Big shout out to Marcus Freeman for being the first black head coach, for being the first black head coach to make the national championship. And actually, before I started recording, I saw the acceptance speech, any reporters walking up to the players or coach or whatever. And I loved Marcus Freeman's response when he said, "I don't want to take any attention away from the team. It shouldn't matter whether you're black, Asian, brown, white, whatever. If you're a great person should be able to do great things." And I'm really glad we live in a day and age where we see that happening more often. So, I also love when Marcus Freeman said, we're going to celebrate what we do. And you know what? That's probably the best response any coach could have given in that moment. Because, how do you not celebrate that? Don't get me wrong, I actually liked all four teams that made it to the Final Four of this new College Football Playoff bracket. I like Notre Dame, I like Penn State, I like Ohio State, I like Texas. For various reasons. I've got a family that lives in Ohio. One cousin of mine went to the Ohio State, so that's why I like them. I went to I have cousins that went to Penn State. I actually went to a Penn State themed wedding. I liked King of the Hill growing up. Not to mention Matthew McConaughey is a Texas fan, so yeah, I like the Longhorns. And Notre Dame has such a proud history. In the 50s and 60s, Notre Dame was the school. You could have argued it was even more prestigious than getting into an Ivy League school. That's how prestigious it was. In terms of both difficulty and academics, you had to have that level of academia, and you still had to play as well as you were. You never really see that nowadays. Because listen, at this point everybody knows that, when students get accepted to D1 colleges and you hear about their 3.5 GPAs or whatever it is, everyone knows that they have their tests taken those athletes pretty much have their tests taken for them. And they get straight A's. As long as the school wins, it doesn't matter. And if you don't believe me, I actually heard from a very reliable source that it happened. That sort of thing happens. So take that for what you will. Honestly, I'm just glad we live in a day and age where you have more than 4 teams that make it to the Final Four. Personally, what they should do is just make it 32 teams and go legit tournament bracket instead of 12. Obviously, the number 1 seed should be whoever, any of the higher seeds should be whoever's undefeated, which at least I'm glad that, they got right this year. If you don't know, a year ago, Florida State University literally had a perfect record of 13-0, and they weren't allowed to go to the College Football Playoff. Granted, they got completely shellacked by Georgia, but, if you have a good record, you should be able to go. So at least if nothing else, I'm glad Oregon got to be the #1 seed. Actually, who am I kidding? Before I continue on, let me talk about my low behind my act of kindness. Let's see. What was my low? Nothing particularly bad happened. There's actually, well, I guess it does feel weird that there's no, I guess my low is that there was no, like, NFL. I mean, there was college football last. I can't be that upset because there was no because there was at least college football last night. But again, it feels weird, like, not talking about the NFL at this moment in time. I mean, granted, tomorrow's video I'm going to be doing that in spades, as well as Sunday I'm going to be doing that in spades as well. So, again, take that for what you will. It's also been pretty cold out. Yeah, I would say my low is that it's cold out. It is. Although, one of my highs is, it's like 7:15 in the morning right now, and we're actually getting some blue sky. In fact, the sun's beginning to rise. I mean, a week ago, it was actually darker than this. So, very slowly but surely, the days were getting longer again. By about 2 minutes. By the way, when people say the days are longer, basically what they refer to is how long the sun is up in the sky. And how bright the sky is for X amount of time. Okay, what's my act of kindness? I held the door for some people yesterday. I did that. Yeah, my act of kindness was I held the door for some people. Oh, right, I forgot to talk about my high. My high was, well, several things. I heard of an event coming up in about 2 weeks from now. Very excited about that. The final trailer for Sakamoto Days came out. I can't wait to see that tomorrow. I'm totally going to see that tomorrow. I'm pumped. I got my list done for the top 11 Super Bowl matchups I want to see. Again, I'll be doing that video tomorrow. Hence why I just said earlier, maybe talk about the NFL in spades. So, yeah. Honestly, at this moment in time, I feel pretty good. I mean, I guess this low I do have is there's something I gotta do this morning that I'm kind of not looking forward to, but it is something I gotta do. And honestly, it's the sort of thing where really it's only for about an hour, but I swear it feels like it's the longest hour every time I do this. So yeah, it's one of those things. So back to college football. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like college football. I mean, I like football in general. But the reason why I don't make, like, college football picks has nothing to do with, like, I'm not interested. Far from it, I actually am interested. But there's just so many teams. And not everyone plays at the same time. Like, there are some games that go on during the week. I'm like, wait, that game happened? What's going on? Like, if I was given a definitive schedule as to what team is playing on what day, that would definitely help me to make college football picks. I also just realized, you have like 130 college football teams that, you televise and talk about on TV and such. 130 divided by 2, because there's 2 teams playing the game, it'd be 65. I gotta do it for, 13 times. You're looking at like, like 800-900. Actually, let me do the math real quick. It can't be that. Hold on. Got the calculator on the app on my computer. Okay, so there's 130 college football. Hold on. How many Division I football teams are there? Okay, okay, I guess in terms of FBS, Division I football subdivision. Division I football bowl subdivision, FBS. There's 134 teams. There are also 133 Division I teams in the football championship subdivision. I guess it'd be 134 divided by 2. 134 divided by 2, I believe is 60. Is it 67? Okay, good. So 67 times, there's usually 13 games a year in the regular season. 871 games. Yeah, I'd be making 871 picks. And I mean, it wouldn't be impossible to keep track of everything, but it would just be a lot of work. That's why it's just a lot easier to just do NFL picks. I mean, don't get me wrong, college football has its fans, and I like college football, I do. I would consider myself a casual fan, though. The NFL, I'm a better fan of the NFL, if we're being honest. But with that said, as I said before, all 4 teams that made to this Final Four in this new bracket. If you don't know, it used to be there were 4 teams that made it to the Final Four, and that was it. Which frankly I didn't really care. I really do think they should. I mean, I'm glad we have 12 now. That's better. Honestly, they should just make it an even 16 and get it over with. Or 32. 32 would be, because here's the thing, for whatever reason, they decided to rank things out 25 out of 134. If you're going to do that, then why not just have it be 32 teams? Or you can probably do what you're doing with the 12-team format, but just make it 24. That's possible to do, I think. Yeah, you can totally do it that way. I mean, again, why even rank it out at 25 and only 24 teams could go? That's why 32 seems a little bit more likely. It'd be more exciting to see who makes it to the very end. That's what they should do. Have your 13 games go from the very end of August to the very end of November. That's easily 13 weeks right there. The 32 teams with the best records would go to this new format. And obviously, any team that somehow makes it to the end undefeated, they're the number 1, 2, 3, however many seeds you get to until you no longer have an undefeated team. Any teams that are 12-1, they would be next seeded. 11-2, maybe the seed after that. That would be a little more. It'd be easier to figure out and a little more fair. But I get it. They want to make things exciting. They want to make it prestigious. I get it. Exclusive to those who are the very absolute best of the best. And I get it. It does make for exciting football, don't get me wrong. But if you're going to do that, why even do those rankings out of 25? That makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, again, make it do what you're doing for the 12-team bracket, but make it 24. If you're going to do it out of 25, I mean, granted, 1 team be left out. That's why 32 would be the better option. But that's just me. In the end, I'm really glad that, personally, I think that this format has been good for college football. This new 12-team format. I mean, granted, a lot of people were complaining that first week of games was pretty lackluster because, there's such a huge disparity and gap between, seedings that, some of these teams are going to get blown out. I get that. But, listen, if you make it, then that should be worth something to talk about. And who's to say they won't do better next year? I mean, the way that the NIL deals and the transfer portals are working. I mean, listen, the fact that we have the 4 teams that made it to the Final Four at all, it says a lot. I mean, listen, after what happened last season with Michigan winning it all, I really thought we were going to get stuff like, Georgia and Alabama and probably Michigan, Ohio State, like those teams. And to some degree we did. I mean, Ohio State made it. But I like that things are a little bit more even. Like, NIL deals are taken into effect. The transfer portal is getting, paid a lot more attention to. I mean, personally, listen, I was never really good at football. I can acknowledge that. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I would know what I'm talking about in terms of what I would do if I was playing Division I football at this time. But I will admit, it is pretty exciting. I don't know. Like, if a school paid for like my room and board to play for them, and obviously I'd be getting an education out of it, I'd probably just stay there, but that's just me. But regardless, to the good men and women who support the Penn State Nittany Lions, you're very wonderful people. Your team deserves all the praise and attention that it got this year. You should be very proud of how far you guys got in this new, playoff format. I would not be surprised if you make it here again and possibly do better. Texas and Ohio State, you guys haven't played yet, so I can't really form an opinion at the moment. But you should still be at least proud you made this far. And once again, to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, to Coach Marcus Freeman and the entire team, congratulations for making it to the College National Championship game. Congratulations on Coach Marcus Freeman for making history as the first black head coach to make it to the College Football Championship. And, I mean, listen, maybe I'm a little old school like that, because I will admit I literally just said I like all 4 teams that made it. But yeah, I think Notre Dame can do it. I really think Notre Dame can win it all. I mean, granted, if Ohio State wins today, it'd be a little harder to do, but it'd be possible. Basically, if Notre Dame plays the game that they played last night, they can win it all. Because Penn State would have given Ohio State all they could handle. And they beat Penn State. And Notre Dame beat Penn State. So, yeah. I really think whoever wins today will lead to a really great college football championship. Although for the Ohio State head coach, let's be honest, there are some diehard Ohio State fans that Ohio State could probably win the whole thing and they'd still be mad that they lost to Michigan. Although, I like to make a joke to this one Bears fan that I know, Wink Martindale. He should be your new head coach. For those of you who don't know, Wink Martindale is the defensive coordinator for Michigan. And why Michigan beat Ohio State. But anyway, finally, congratulations to Notre Dame. Vive la Notre Dame. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for my top 11 Super Bowl matchups that I want to see. I hope you like this video. If you like, subscribe to YouTube channel, on social media. As always, I'm very helping this video for all of you guys watching the show. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Friday. And remember, if you guys want to talk to me, always be here to let me know. Always be back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby. Sitting like this makes me feel so comfortable.